Hi everybody, this is Clarine from Rainy's room. It's a little early in the year, but I've been making these really fun little milk cartons. I thought if I made a video, you might be able to get started on making a bunch for your house, friends, family, trick-or-treaters. These are just darling. They measure about 2 by 5, and this is the front. And that's the back. I've just put a little back there. And inside, you can see through this little window is some candy corn. Anyway, I'm having a really great time making them, so I thought I'd do a video. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need one sheet that is 9.5 by 6. And you're going to score it on this long side at 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 6 3/4, and 9. And then rotate it, and you're going to score at 1, 4, and 5 1/2. I'm going to set that to the side because I went ahead and did my scoring ahead of time. This is the right side. And then after you do your score lines, then you fold all of them up and burnish them, just like that. And I'm going to show you this template. This would be good to take a screenshot of because then you can have it. This is the bottom of your box where the longer tabs are. The short ones are at the top. And this is the little window. And then we are going to be making some little creases on the sides to help these little indentations here. And that's what's here and here. So let's do that first. What I did was I marked a little dot in the center. If you have, let's start over here. If you have your edge over here, which is the smaller edge, you're going to be cutting out this little square that's here. And then I clipped each tab and did little wedgies on the line all the way across the bottom so that you have 4 tabs. Okay, so then up at the top, you can see where your score lines are. On this first panel, I put a little dot in the middle. That's the first panel. The second panel is going to be the window. The third panel, I put a little dot up here as well. Now down from that dot, I'm just going to lay this down and draw a line from that dot, score line, I'm not going to draw it, from that dot to this first score line here. And I'll just go straight across. And then over here as well, you'll see where there's this little crossing of score lines, so you know you're going from that center there up to here. And the same over here. I would suggest you use a ruler when you draw this line, but of course I didn't think to bring one out when I started the video. So I'm just eyeballing it. But you can just put your ruler along there and score that line. And then you just want to crease it where that line is. Like that. There's the other one on that side. You're just doing that little square. And then over here as well, from that dot to that corner, and from that dot all the way to that corner. Okay, then this second panel in is where you're going to put the window. So I cut a little 1-inch square window out of chipboard, and I laid it down here. Here's where your side is. See that line? It's about 1/4 of an inch, oh, a little better, 3/8 of an inch down and centered there. And then I'm going to cut it out with my X-Acto knife. Oops. You got to put a lot of pressure on here to get this to cut out. All 4 sides there. The thing I liked about Ms. T's site is that she devised a way to make this milk carton so that you can get 2 of them out of a 12 by 12 piece of paper, which I thought was great because I've made these before, but they were always bigger. So I like the size of this one. So I'm not getting through there, so I just got to go a little bit harder. This side. That go through. Yeah. Okay. So then I'm just going to pop that off. And it's kind of not doing it all the way through. So let me come and make a couple more passes down here. There we go. Okay, then you have a hole. And I'm going to cover that edge with my ink. So I'll just put a little ink along there and along here. And then we're going to cover that with a piece of acetate. So we're going to cut a piece of acetate that is 2 by 2. I went ahead and put the 1/4 inch score tape all the way around it. So let me pick that up. Get my pokey tool. I have never been able to work with glue with acetate because it just makes such a mess. You have to be so careful. So I just altered Ms. T's plan because she used glue. So I did mine this way. And I'm going to put that right up here so that the glue, the tape, holds it in place. Burnish that down. Now because I changed the angle, because I couldn't glue it on, I have a little bit of an excess on the corner here. So I'm going to trim that off because there's a, see how there's another line that forms the side of the milk carton. So I'm going to just raise that up a little bit and clip off that edge. And same up here. Clip off a little bit. And it just gives it a cleaner window. Burnish that down. Okay, so this is going to form our milk carton. So I'm going to take this little 1/2 inch edge over here. That's where I'm going to put the glue. And we're going to form the box. Yeah. And then you just fold over this edge, and this side fits right on that score line. And you just burnish it down. Okay, so now you're getting your box. And this is the top, and those little lines that we had scored in there, we push those together and in. Let me push this out a little bit on the side. And that forms the top of your milk carton. Right like that. And let me play with this corner over here. It's not quite kicking in. There we go. Then I'm going to mark 2 dots with my pencil. This is how we're going to hold the top together. I'm going to put a mark in the middle of it in about 3/4 of an inch on each side. And then I'm going to get out my big shot, my big bite. I think this is called a big bite. And it has a couple punches. This is the smaller one and this is the larger one, which is the one I'm going to use. And I'm just going to push this under there, holding the top on. The thing about this that's so good is that you can go through 5 or 6 sheets of paper. You can't do this with a hand punch. It's not strong enough. So I use this guy. I think it's called a big bite. There we go. All right, now we're just going to take this bottom. Now these 2 are your side. And these 2 are going to fold in this way. Now this is why she was able to get 2 out of a 12 by 12. She made these a little bit smaller. So we're going to glue these down, just the 2 edges. Just like that. Kind of line them up so that you have a square bottom. And you can see there's a hole in the middle. And that's fine with me because that's how she saved enough paper to get 2 of these out. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover that with this paper, and it's 2.5 square. That's going to go right across here. And then it makes it nice and strong. So I think she was just the cleverest thing. And I'll put that right in the middle, just centering it like that. I'm going to turn him upside down and put a little burnishing on that. And then on the inside, I added a little 1 1/4 inch piece of chipboard, which I think will just totally give it that nice firm base. Just put a little glue on there and then just drop it down the side. And it'll flip over and then I'll burnish it down. Go. This is just a quick and easy little project, and I just having the best time with it. So inside, I put about 1/2 cup, maybe 3/4 of candy corn. I'll pop that inside. Form this again. You have your tops, and then I'm going to cut my ribbon. This is 3/8. You can use whatever size you like. You can make it bigger if you want. And I'm just going to string that through here. See all those pieces that we went through with that big bite? You can't do that with a handheld. So I'm going to go through there. And back through the other side. He doesn't want to go, so let me push him through. There we go. And that's going to be the back. And I'm just going to tie a bow here. Voila. And then that'll hold your box closed. Just tie a bow. And pull it tight. Okay, I'm going to cut off a little bit here. Oops, that's like that. And then I'm going to decorate that with the front. I have this little die of grass. It's actually the top of a flower, but I call it grass. And I'm just going to glue that on the bottom. Oops, maybe a little bit up here just to keep it attached. Move that down here. Like that. A little ephemera. This is a pumpkin. I've got a bat. And then this I found on clipart.com, a set of googly eyes. I'm going to attach that with a pop-up dot. And I can't tell if he's looking in to see what's in the box or he's in the box trying to get out. But I'm going to place that right up here on the edge. Gives it kind of a fun, spooky look. Like that. I'm also going to attach my pumpkin with pop-up dots. And I just think this is the funnest thing to do for Halloween. Very simple. Thank you, Ms. T. Put that down here. And then right on the back, I'm going to use the smaller pop-ups and put this bat on the back side. Yeah. And we'll just put him coming in there like that. It's an itty bitty guy, but it's cute and I like him. And believe it or not, there you have it. The perfect Halloween little treat box. Okay, thanks a bunch for coming by.